Welcome back to Blashko, YouTube's laziest channel. I'm wearing my Asher hat in case you guys forget my name. There are a lot of songs that are worth listening to. If you went alphabetically through every song that was worth listening to, you would die well before you got to the letter B. Listening to, the bands that end up becoming part of the collective consciousness, listening to the Beatles and the Taylor Swifts and all that are fine. But in this video, I want to talk about bands that aren't very well known that I think are completely worth listening to. So this is phenomenal bands and musicians with less than 5,000 followers on Spotify. There's not really a good way of defining or finding obscure bands on Spotify. But anyways, if they have less than 5,000 followers, they're pretty dang obscure. A lot of the bands we're going to be talking about, or musicians that we're going to be talking about today, have less than 100 followers. So it's way more obscure than that. But there were some that I wanted to talk about that I feel deserve some more recognition. I think we're doing 10 in a runner-up, or maybe 11 in a runner-up. I'm not going to go too deep into the bands. You can look them up. You're at the internet is, I'm sure, how you're watching this. So if you're interested in knowing more about the bands, just go ahead and look them up. There's this website called Wikipedia that's relatively ubiquitous that will have information on almost all of these bands, if not all of them. So for the runner-up, we're going to talk about a band called CANT, without an apostrophe, and they have 4,054 followers on Spotify. This album artwork actually is not the album artwork for the album Dreams Come True by CANT. This was made by my friend Tim Edeker in college as a design project. So I think it's way better than the actual artwork. This came out our senior year, which was when I was making, so that would be probably 2011 to 2012, and somewhere around there. I was making a documentary at the time called The Age of the Artist, and I actually used the song that you're about to listen to, and I guess we might as well use this as credits. And but the song is called, the album's Dreams Come True came out in 2009, and the song is called Too Late, Too Far. So the first band is one of my favorites. They're called Musee Mecanique. And I don't know if they're one of my favorites of all time, but I love this album. I love both their albums, but specifically Hold This Ghost I listen to a lot. They have 3,489 followers. We're going to go through this and get more obscure as we go through this. They were founded in 2006. This album, Hold This Ghost, came out in 2008, and then they did a Kickstarter campaign thing and ended up recording a sophomoric album from Shores of Sleep in 2014. They're kind of like meticulously layered and arranged indie dream folk, real good stuff. I found out about them, it was Halloween of 2008 or 2009. And it was actually at Meow Wolf, which a lot of you are probably familiar with Meow Wolf now. But back then in 2008 or 2009, the only people who really knew about Meow Wolf, the collective, was locals from Santa Fe. I remember one of the lead singers was in a bear costume. And I think each band member had their own keyboard. Like I said, it's just very layered music, really beautiful stuff. And I remember following them out after I heard their set. I just followed them to their van where they went to go smoke and demanded a copy of the CD. The song that made me really I was like, I'm buying this CD, was the song Somehow Bound.
Taking love from the next man's hand. What was innocently seen now seems obvious to me. Love's a sort of sin, and it's an answer.
And then the last song I'm going to play by them, or excerpt, is The Shaker's Cask, which is actually one of the songs I played after my grandma's funeral.
In the catacombs that established our homes, in the dirt, in the old shaker's cask.
All right, next is Espers. They have 3,377 followers. They are kind of, they're kind of like in between folk and drone folk. They were founded in 2002. Instead of playing you multiple songs, I'm just going to play you a pretty long excerpt of the song Dead Queen, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. I'm a big fan of superlatives, but really this song I've returned to since I found it. This is one to hear with headphones. It is just fantastic. Dead Queen. It's the first song off Espers 2. Alright, third is Bill Baird. He has 3,322 followers. And honestly, if any of the bands or musicians on this list are worth checking into and worth obtaining your support, it would be Bill Baird. This guy has got to have recorded and written 1,000 songs. I mean, it might be closer to 2,000 songs. I mean, it's just insane. He has, I have this album on vinyl. I actually have a lot of his stuff, but I'll just show you this one. I think he has like 30 albums at least. I'll link to his bandcamp, which is totally worth subscribing. I think it's $10 a month or $7 a month, and you get a bunch of unreleased songs. He's started in 2006 and he's still going strong. We're gonna listen to, right now we're listening to Journey of 1,000 Steps.
So your life is done again. What will you do? The journey of 1,000 steps begins by tying your shoes. We're not the demons that you think we are. We're also angels too. Mouth the flames and a vacuum guitar. We have a sound for every one of you.
It's really tough to pick a few songs by him because they're so good, but we'll listen to, just to keep it so, because a lot of this is going to be kind of indie folk on this video. So here's Soggy Soul, which is not. And then here's a great one called Dear Friend. And it kind of breaks down into a weird jazzy section, and that's probably my favorite part of the song.
Dear friend, if you go another round, dear friend, you'll collapse onto the ground, dear friend. Tell the people what you found, dear friend. Is it even worth repeating?
All right, so the next one we're going to talk about is The Snake, the Cross, the Crown. This album is called Cotton Teeth. Really great album all the way through. Really fantastic stuff. They have 2,280 followers. So we're going to listen to Electric Dream Plant.
I don't wanna go without you, so I just wanna go with peace of mind. I don't wanna go without you, so I just wanna go with peace of mind. I don't wanna go without you, so I just wanna go with peace of mind. I don't wanna go without you, so I just wanna go with peace of mind. Save your sorrow, old eyes, and make them all the cry. Save your sorrow, old eyes, and make them all the cry. Save your sorrow, old eyes, and make them all the cry. Save your sorrow, old eyes, and make them all the cry. Save your sorrow, old eyes, and make them all the cry. Save your sorrow, old eyes, and make them all the cry.
And then a great one is Behold the River. All right, next, we're about halfway there. This is one of my favorite bands. They're called the Little Hands of Asphalt. I think they're from Norway. And I found them either in high school or right out of high school, but I think I was listening to them in high school. This album, Leap Years, was their first full album.
Trading dark thoughts for white lies. Off the road again, I'm looking for my worst of friends. Sure, I was blinded by the lights, forgetting about second chances. Erase my glass of true romances, cause I think I lost one tonight.
And their most recent album, which I think is their third. And this actually was quite interesting story to this album. It was released in March of 2020. Now, do you remember what was going on in March of 2020? This album it's really weird because it accidentally kind of ended up being the soundtrack for COVID, at least for me, for the pandemic and the shutdown and all the stuff that we were going through. But it was written and recorded before that any of that happened.
Now the length of the summer day feeds a darker blue. I watched a metropolis set in a silver hue. I know nothing's bottomless, leaning into a wall. Another snowy winter waits at the end of a fall. Patiently tap the keys while you would quietly sing. Water fill the reservoirs every spring.
The first song is called Begin Again. There's a song called, the drinking song, No Reception, Dystopian Sci-Fi. And then the last song, The Buildings and Then the Trees, really is kind of like an accidental song about the whole situation. So on March 20th of 2020, the lead singer recorded a solo version of the last song on this album, which is called The Buildings, Then the Trees.
I touched ground, let my brain make its demands. Sometimes they aren't true. Beneath the neon signs, saw shadows holding hands. Blinked twice and then reviewed. On the south side of the park, there are tourist traps and dive bars. We know we walked these streets before, without knowing what we're looking for in the city that you've claimed as yours. Just to dull our senses to the core. Don't share my growing sentiment that all of this soon ends, and forgive me if you can still breathe. Though there's this itching in your throat that you can't shake or even try to put at ease.
Okay, now we're getting into the bands that have less than 1,000 followers. The next one is Half-Handed Cloud. They have 774 followers on Spotify. They started in 2001 and they're still going. They're on Sufjan Stevens' record label, Asthmatic Kitty Records. If you don't know Sufjan Stevens, stop the video and go listen to him. And guess what? This guy is a Christian, and all the songs are very goofy and experimental, very short songs, so we're gonna listen to a few. Right now we're listening to You Get a Horseshoe.
Eyes a word and feet need lamps. Light for your horseshoe and light for your toes. Then there's this man, he comes and goes. Let's plant an acorn in every pothole. Space in the highway and space in the soul. Replace the gravel with something that grows. Please don't just dig the road. La 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 la, la 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 la
Then we got All We Like Sheep Have Gone Astray.
All we like sheep have gone astray, all turning our own way. But you lead us to the right path. All we like sheep have gone astray, all turning our own way. But you lead us to the right path, your righteous path.
And then here's a real good Christian one.
Hey, hey, God is love, 'cause Father and the Son, they love each other. Hey, hey, God is love, 'cause Father and the Son, they love each other. Hey, hey, God is love, 'cause Father and the Son, they love each other. Hey, tell your grandma, God is love, 'cause Father and the Son, they love each other. Wake up the neighbor, God is love, 'cause Father and the Son, they love each other. Dirty up the chalkboard, God is love, 'cause Father and the Son, they love each other. Bake it in your fortune cookie, God is love, 'cause Father and the Son, they love each other. Will us what you're talking about, God is love, 'cause Father and the Son, they love each other. Hey, hey, God is love, 'cause Father and the Son, they love each other.
And now all of you guys, all of you blasphemers, you now like a Christian band. So I bet you never thought that'd happen. All right, next up we have, I can't believe that these guys don't have more. I was shocked when I looked them up. But the next one we're gonna do is Snowglobe. Snowglobe has 507 followers on Spotify. These are just two of the albums that I decided to buy, but they have a lot more, and they're all really, really good. They're just standard indie rock, but really, really good songwriting. They were formed in 1999. They are still active. My favorite album is Oxytocin. Right now we're listening to Prelude. Their most popular song is Dreamworks, so we'll give that a quick listen.
Rolling down the street so late, you think that you're living if you're breathing. The search for you has just begun. I'm sure that there's meaning in this feeling. Slip away from all you've known, swim out in the distance, catch a ride on the furthest star. Colors bleed into your eyes as you shoot through the distant skies of heaven. Hold your breath, let the waves run through your body and the pulse touch every bone. Rays of light stick in your skin, you know that you are home again.
And then here's just a classic love song. It's called Nothing I Can Do.
Tried to help you, girl, but just added to your pain. And there's nothing I can do to take that away. You can hate me, that's okay. I know I love you, girl. Ooh. Seems there's nothing I can do to show you that's true. Some things you just can't prove. Love, there's only room for one love, and there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do that's good enough for you.
All right, next we have, the rest of the bands we're going to talk about have less than 100 followers on Spotify. All right, next up we got God Tiny. They have 37 followers on Spotify. I found them when I was on this website called what.cd, which was like an old BitTorrent website that you had to get invited to. It was very exclusive, and it was kind of like, if you were really into music, it was like the holy grail of downloading music. And the moderators would suggest bands, and this one was one of them. And I remember reading a comment that someone said this is music from the future. The album that is really, really good is not on Spotify. Their other album's really good. I will listen to Betty from their newest album.
Come on, Betty, come on down, come on to the show. Come on, Betty, come on down to the rodeo. And I said, oh, come on, Betty.
first album, we'll listen to It's Going to Be a Dark Night, which is the opener. Next we have Melissa Gail Klein. This is a person I know, not super well, but I did. She had a bandcamp, so I got this album by supporting the bandcamp. I met her at the tail end of my time in Santa Fe. I went to college in Santa Fe, and then this was after I graduated. I'm going to show you a video of her singing Vagrant Song, which is actually, I filmed it in her loft with her boyfriend at the time and a couple other people. So yeah, she just has a killer voice. This song I don't think is on Spotify, but let's give it a listen.
And you know why. And you know why. I hear you in the waves that are crashing, pounding the land with all of your passion. I am the sand that's sifting through your hand. So hold me close and let me emerge. Salty tears teach me to unlearn. Let me return these bones to the ocean ground and smooth to be birthed anew. And you know why I couldn't have found you there before. The rise and fall. And you know why I couldn't have seen your face this long in a vagrant song.
All right, very, very pretty. And now we'll listen to Crystalline Charm, which is the title of this album. Oh, and she has 36 followers. Go support her. She's good. She has 36 followers on Spotify. But yeah, Crystalline Charm.
I will pick myself up off the ground and shake off the chatter that drowns out the sound of music ringing clear as a bell. Holds out its hands to lift me from hell and holds me up like a crystalline charm in the hand of a child so sweet and so warm. Makes me remember why I was born every time I forget.
band that we're going to talk about is a band that I went to college with. They're called the Apple Minor Colony. And really good stuff. You can see in this picture how many members of the band there were. Quite a few. And every single one of them, I'm pretty sure every single one of them went to college with me. The College of Santa Fe. They have 29 followers on Spotify. And they're really, really awesome. They had a lot of inspiration from Neutral Milk Hotel and bands like that, Beirut and stuff like that. But what an interesting story about this second album, When the Morning Comes Home, which is, I think, a little better than their first one, but their first one's good too, is that it was written when the school was closing. There's a bunch of stuff going on where, with financial issues with the college, and I might have had to do with the housing crisis in 2008, because it closed in I think the spring of 2009, and then it happened, and everyone thought that this college was just defunct, but it reopened the next semester as Santa Fe University of Art and Design. And this album was released like that semester that it was that the school was closing. And I mean, the lyrics are like, there's one song called Con todo por mi amor or something like that. I think it means with all of my heart. But it's, I'm losing the ones I love. And there's a song Better Days, and there's a song called Better Days, which is more uplifting, but a lot of it is like about the school closing and how emotionally wrecked we were because of that. So we're gonna listen to that Con todo por mi amor, and then we'll listen to Better Days. But first, here's a little clip from a documentary that my friend JD and AJ made about the school closing, and then we'll segue into the Apple Minor Colony.
I've gotten to be a part of a huge band called the Apple Minor Colony, and it's a 27-piece band. The world's got it bad. More so now than I've ever known it to have.
anyways, I talked quick because most of this was about the music. And I'm way more boring than the music. I just kind of wanted to give it a little introduction. I hope you found some bands that you're going to now go and follow on Spotify, or at least, listen to. I did make a playlist of of a lot of the songs that's called Less Than 5,000, and I'll link it in the description. And if you guys like this video, let me know, and I'm sure I can make another. I might be able to make 5 more. I could do one from specifically from the 70s. I could do music that is really popular in other countries, but Americans don't know, or English speakers don't know. I have a lot of knowledge on stuff like that. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, just let me know. Other than taking the notes and figuring out the list, this video took me about 20 minutes to make, and we'll see how long it takes to edit it. But anyways, I am about to start a big editing project that I'm getting hired to do. So I wanted to just make this real quick. So I had one more video before the end of the year, because I think that editing project is going to take me into early to mid-December, and I'm probably then going to just pivot into holiday mode. So anyways, I love you guys, and thanks for putting up with my laziness. And I'm Asher. Thanks for, Blashko loves you, and so good it's bad. My fucking leg's asleep. God damn it. Oh, it's bad. Oh, God.